Okay, so I guess I mount this thing here. Yeah, a little higher. And right there, yeah. And I just pump it. And it's supposed to attach the car. I think I'm doing this right. Before everybody freaks out, my camera is fine. Right now, filming with my Nikon, nothing bad happened, it's all good. But that moment right there is the reason why I wanted to test this thing out properly. But my camera's alive, it works, and that's what matters. All right, before I show you the driving footage, I feel like I should talk a little bit more about what this mount has to offer, because I know I skipped this earlier and this actually matters. First, the build quality. The suction cup itself feels solid. It doesn't feel like cheap plastic. The body, metal, lightweight and sturdy. The 6-inch suction cup is large, and that size matters because the surface area is what gives you the holding power. One thing I really like is you're not locked into one mounting option. You can see around, you have so many options to mount things. You've got multiple mounting points on this thing. 1/4 inch and 3/8 threads. You can use different arm bow heads or adapters. And that flexibility is important, especially if you have a bunch of magic arms and ball heads that you already trust. In the box, of course, you get the suction cup itself, a protective cover for the suction pad, a couple of screws, adapters, and the included magic arm. Now, don't be like me, I almost threw this away, but this cover is actually very important because this actually protects the pad of your suction cup, keeping it clean, because if it's dirty or there's debris stuck in there, that's gonna affect the suction of your suction cup. This is what I really dislike about this product. This flimsy freaking magic arm. This thing is so, you can see how much I hate it because this thing doesn't have any locks. Now, one thing for sure I can tell you is that this magic arm that came with the suction cup, I don't trust this in my life at all whatsoever. You can see some of the, well, you can't see the clips because the camera's on, but yeah, this thing, no, I would not trust. At least I won't trust my realist camera with it. Maybe the action can be fine, but this thing is no. Now let's talk about the weight capacity, because people get nervous at this, including myself when I use this. This mount is ready to handle up to 11 pounds when using it on a moving vehicle, assuming it has smooth rolls and proper setup. That means lightweight mirrorless setups, action cams, or possibly a strapped down big rigs. Maybe not heavy cinema bills, but you know what I mean. It can hold significantly more, but if you're moving in a car, that could change things. All right, now let's talk about the property how to install the mount. Surface prep matters more than you think. This mount works best on smooth, non-porous surface. Glass, smooth metal, clean paint, dust, dirt, textures, or uneven surfaces, that's where the suction mount typically fails. If the surface ain't clean, man, that is not the product's problem. That's the setup problem. The locking system is simple but important. Press the suction cup firmly. Pump the lever till it's fully sealed. You know it's fully sealed once you no longer see the white line. So it would be like around here. Once it's right here, you're good to go. Now there ain't no like shock absorbers or anything in this mount. So vibrations while you're driving could affect the suction capacity of the mount itself, especially the type of magic arm you use. And this brings me to the weakest part of this kit. The included magic arm is terrible. I do not feel comfortable mounting my entire camera setup that I spent thousands of dollars on this thing right here. And the issue is, look at this. There's no locking mechanism in this thing. So it's just screwed onto place. So if you're driving around on, not even in a bumpy road, just driving around, your natural vibration the vehicle's gonna do, there's a chance that the screws are gonna get loose and your equipment's gonna fall on the ground, and you know, it's not gonna be a good day for you. This is why I swapped for the K&F concept arm. It literally has locks right here on its edge, so it stops the screw from turning. So if you're in a bumpy road or this out of vibration of the vehicle, it's gonna stop that screw from losing. It's gonna stop from your investment falling down and crashing on the ground. The NEEWER car mount plus the K&F concept magic arm together. Now this is a setup that I trust with my camera. If you're a solo creator like me, trying to add more motion, more dynamic shots in your videos, this right here makes a whole lot of sense. Now, if you're a pro or you having really heavy rigs, then yeah, maybe this is not the one for you. But you're a pro, so you know what you're doing. You don't need to listen to me. Now, would I trust this for my camera? Absolutely yes. I will use this again. I had no issues with it whatsoever, but definitely switch out the magic arm that comes with it and get yourself a better one. Either the K&F concept one, I think Small Rig also makes one. Just to make sure they have those little locking pins to keep your camera secure. I try to film more things about my life, you know, driving to client meetings and maybe document that and then have a little review of how the meeting went. And if I'm gonna do that, I need a car mount that I can actually trust. So my whole new camera setup cost me a couple of $1,000. That's a big investment I did last year, I know. I wasn't ready to throw away all of that investment for a sketchy product and hope for the best. So instead of just mounting it and calling it a day, I want to see how it hold up in real conditions. So I drove it on roads going 50 miles per hour. I was drawing on roads going to 60 miles per hour. I went to areas that I know there's constructions and there's uneven lanes and bumpy road signs everywhere. Now, as far as speed goes, the recommended speed is 50 miles per hour. But I did went up to 60 miles per hour with this thing and my camera held up. Now, the caveat to that is that it was mounted inside the car, it wasn't mounted outside the car. So take that as you will. All right, let me see how this thing holds up. I have it hooked up to my car at a weird angle. I feel a little sketchy, ain't gonna lie. But right now it seems to be holding up. I gotta take a drive, I had an appointment to get to. So it's like a maybe 20-minute drive. So I wanna test this out and see if it can hold that 20-minute drive. They'll go in different speeds and the roads are high around here, you know, they're not that bad, but I'm curious to see how well it'll hold on because I'm using my Nikon ZR with a cage, with the lens, plus a ND filter. Like it has a weight to it. That's why I bought the NEEWER one, the 6-inch diameter, because I figure the bigger the suction cup, maybe the more weight it can hold. And I'm more confident than a 6-inch diameter than, you know, a 4 or a 3. And I see some of them that are like 4 or 3s. So yeah, I'm sure I'll take a drive down here to my appointment and see how much it holds up. All right. All right, so right now we're driving here. It's 50 miles per hour. Yeah, the road is pretty good, and it seems like it's holding up pretty well. So let's go, stay around 50. It's not break the law now, I should stay on a speed limit. And the only thing I noticed that the angle I put it is blocking my mirrors, so it's kind of hard to see. So I'm gonna have to play around with the angle to make sure I don't block the mirrors next time. All right, about to cross railroad crossing, so let's see how this thing performs, how much the wiggle is. A little wiggle, not too bad. All right. All right, in the red light real quick, but so far it's so good. I do notice like if on that railroad crossing, it did wiggle a little bit, like it did jumped around. I've seen people that buy 2 and hook up 2 to get really stable. Maybe that's something in the future might do, but so far so good, man. I like it. I wanted to post it, I wanted to mount it in the front of the car, in the hood, and record looking outside in, but it's raining today. I don't want to get a new Nikon ZR all wet. So for right now, I should do indoor shots inside the car and let's see how it goes from here. I'm about to hit to a freeway right here, going 60 miles per hour. So let's see how this mount holds up. All right, so we made it to the highway. We're going 60 miles per hour. So I'm gonna be here for the next, I don't know, like 10 minutes or so. So let's see how this thing holds up. Let's see, I'm gonna cross a couple of bridges. So let's see if those little bumps in the road won't accidentally dismount this thing and have my camera drop. Luckily, I moved the passenger seat forward. So if it does fall, well, it falls to the passenger seat. So I'm noticing, yeah, a lot of wiggle right there when I cross that bridge. I'm going 60 miles per hour. So yeah, for the next couple of minutes, I'm gonna drive down this road and hopefully this won't fall off and I won't break my new camera. All right. All right, just stop at a red light. So we got done with the 60 miles per hour road. I think it held up pretty good. There was some parts definitely going over the bridge that did wobble a lot. But you know, just naturally having one suction cup. I mean, I've had like 2 or 3, it can make the camera more stable. But it's holding on, I haven't fell. I'm still a nerd about it, ain't gonna lie, but yeah, so far so good. Now the next like 3 minutes worth of road, that's like construction going around. So let's see how it holds up with that. Oh, it was really light. All right, let's see how this holds up. All right, so I just made an appointment. I mean, yeah, this thing held up really, really well. I was surprised. I probably don't have it mounted in the most optimal position. Actually, let me just get my phone and record, show you what I got going on. All right, this I got it mounted. I got it mounted down back here on the cage for the Nikon ZR. Optimally, probably better if I put it in the middle just to keep it balanced, but I have a cold shoe mount that I installed here because I like to have my audios in the middle, so I might remove this, put it back over here. I really don't like this angle, and also if I put it here, it kind of blocks a little bit of the monitor over here, so that's why I have it over here. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna move this over here, put this in the middle, see if it's more stable, because honestly the way with mounting right here is kind of sketch, and it's, yeah, it does like wobble a lot. So yeah, I think next time I'm gonna, yeah, move the stuff around and see if it's more stable. But yeah, right now it's holding up pretty good. This is set up right now. There was a little wobble, of course, but never to the point that I felt that the camera was gonna fall off. Anytime you mount a camera inside your car, you feel safe. There's vibration, yeah, but again, it holds. Once you mount it inside the car, you gotta take consideration, maybe it's a windy day, maybe it's raining. I mean, I won't mount my, couple $1,000 rig outside in the rain, but if you have action cam, I think I handle it. All right, I'm not gonna pretend here and say that little ride wasn't scary. The whole time I was like really nervous that it's gonna start raining because there's lots of overcast and it was scheduled to be raining today. And two, it's really windy, so I worried the wind might knock it down, but yeah, it held up. It was a short ride because I was really nervous. So even though it holds the rated speed in one scenario, that doesn't mean you should ignore it in any other scenario. That's when your good judgment comes in. All right, so there you go. Everything will be linked down below. There will be some Amazon affiliate links for being extra cost to you, but it'll help out the channel grow. And I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.